Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. I'm in rare form. Don't mind me. I am just sitting here, talking to you guys. I had a little bit of a crying sesh a few minutes ago. I had my beeswax candles lit, and I just sat in my beanbag chair and cried and prayed. I find that usually when I pray, I cry, and it's just a nice purge. You know, it's just a nice way to kind of just release, you know, get everything that's been bottled up inside out. And, you know, shame on me because I have not sat and prayed like that in a really long time. And it's something that I keep saying I'm going to do. And yet the days just go by and it doesn't get done. So shame on me for that. But I did apologize for my lack thereof to the good Lord. And I know he forgives me and I know he gets it. But yeah, you guys, I've just been feeling some kind of way lately. I don't know. I don't know if it's like, what's going on with the moon? Is it the moon? Is it related to like what's happening astrologically? I don't know. I don't know. I know that there are a lot of people out there who do follow astrology very, very seriously, and they like they know when they're going to feel some kind of way, you know? I don't follow it to know, but I bet you something's going on. Something's going on, you guys. I'm drinking this coffee that I got this morning after I brought Penelope to school. And it is very warm. The ice has melted and it's really not the best, but I'm up here on the second floor just getting some stuff done, and I was sitting there praying for a bit, so I have not yet ventured down to the kitchen to get me some water, which I desperately need, but I will do after I film this. But I just wanted to sit here and film this because I know that Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually my film days, and I knew that if I didn't do it now, I was not going to do it because I've got quite a bit of stuff on my agenda for today, and it is already 11:52. Oh my gosh, where does the time go? But yeah, I've just been in my feelings lately, and it didn't help that today was not a good drop-off day. Penelope was very upset that I dropped her off at school, and I just hate that. I hate that. Do you moms, like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, or dads, because I know dads do drop-offs as well. And, you know, some days it's like I can just drop her off and feel good about dropping her off. And then other days she's just crying and screaming and she's like pulling out of my shirt. And it's like the tears are just flowing. And I'm trying not to get frustrated and impatient. And I'm trying to help her work through her feelings in the moment. And I'm like, Penelope, look, you're going to play with your friends and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And then the teacher tries to help, like, Penelope, look what we're doing today. And, you know, some days it works and some days it doesn't. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know? And of course, it's the days that I'm feeling the worst, like mentally and emotionally, that it happens. So it's just so frustrating. My lips are very dry at the moment. I need some oil. Yeah, so I was not happy about the drop-off today. I hate that so much. And then an hour later, her teacher sends me a picture of her like happy and just like writing out her letters, and she's like, no more tears, Mom. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. So last night I had, like, I just wasn't feeling good all day. Like, I was just kind of run down and I was just feeling like, oh, like I had zero energy. And I know, like, this is like my ovulating week, TMI, but hey. So I know, like, around the time that I'm ovulating and just before I get my period, I'm just like, I just don't feel good, you know? And it's so strange because my body around that time and how I feel has changed so much since having my child. Like, what I thought I knew my whole life from, like, being 11 and on with periods, I'm like, oh, I can tell the signs. Like, oh yeah, my boobs are gonna hurt, or this is gonna happen, or I'm gonna feel like this, and and it's like I always know. But ever since I gave birth, like, my body is so different. My body, my mind, everything so different. And sometimes I don't recognize, like, what is happening with me. So I go into full on panic mode and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I not well? Like, what's going on? You know, your mind just goes down this, like, rabbit hole. And then I pull up my period calendar and I'm like, oh, I've got 3 more days left during my ovulation week. Perfect. This is what's going on. You know, and sometimes it makes you feel better and sometimes it doesn't. And it's just like, but I went to bed last night. Like I said to my husband, I'm like, are you okay with taking the night shift? Like, usually the night shift is like I usually will sit and relax with her before she goes to bed. And, you know, sometimes, like, it depends on her mood, but she'll want to read with daddy. She'll want to brush her teeth with daddy. She'll want to, like, do the whole, like, preparation process with daddy up until it's like sit down and snuggle time. And then it's like mommy. But last night I was like, I just want to go to bed. Like, I don't feel right. My head is just, like, weird. At one point I felt like almost like dizzy and, like, lightheaded. I was like, I don't think I have the energy or the strength to do nighttime. So are you okay with handling that? And he knew I was feeling off, you know? So I was in bed at 7:30. I wasn't asleep, but I was in bed at 7:30. What was that for? Penelope decided to be a complete terror. So, you know, we still have the monitor in our bedroom where I can, like, hear her and see her, and the whole time he's in there with her, she was just a monster. A monster. And I'm like, oh my God, I just wanted to get in bed. I just wanted to lay here and relax. Like, I just wanted to go to sleep before, like, 1 o'clock in the morning for once. Like, can I please just, like, get some rest? And the whole time I'm laying there thinking, do I just get up and go in there? Like, he's getting frustrated, I could tell. She's screaming and crying. It was just a disaster, an absolute freaking disaster. And I'm like, and then I'm feeling bad because I'm feeling bad for him. Then I'm feeling bad for her. Then I'm feeling like, let me just get up and go. Like, why did I have to switch it up? But you know what I mean? Like, the mom guilt sets in and the wife guilt sets in and just, like, everything. So needless to say, I did not actually sleep. I didn't fall asleep till probably after 9:30, which is still earlier than I have been going to bed, but I would have loved to have been sleeping by, like, 8 o'clock. Oh my gosh. So then, yeah, I didn't end up going in the room, but she cried and called out and was not happy for a while after he left her room. Like, he left her room probably around 9 o'clock. Okay. It was a long freaking process. And then after he leaves her room, I just hear her And she had moments where she was like laughing and playing, and then she was like crying and whining, and then she was calling out for me, "Mommy, Mommy." And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So, and then this morning, she was just horrible. So horrible, just screaming and like was mad and wouldn't cooperate, like was just like, and I'm like, oh. I went to bed with a headache, feeling some kind of way, and then I wake up with yet again another freaking headache because all she's doing is crying and screaming and like being obnoxious. I'm like, you've got to go to school. And then of course I bring her to school, and then she, you know, cries about it, and it's just like, oh. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know. I'm just tired, you guys. I'm just exhausted. Like I'm just mentally just drained. Like emotionally just like checked out. I really am. And I notice that I'm just like super irritable, and I'm just like cranky, and just like, I just don't have the patience right now. I just don't have the patience right now. And my glasses are crooked, so we're going to pretend like we don't see that. It's driving me freaking nuts, but we're going to pretend like they're straight, even though they're not. And we're going to move on with our life. I wanted to share with you guys a little something that I got yesterday at Walmart, which was unexpected. So I went to Walmart yesterday with my mom and my older brother and Penelope, and we were walking around. I had to get like a water filter, and what else did I get? I think that's all I got. Water filter and this. And so we're walking around, and there was like an end cap. And I quickly just kind of turned my head, and this bottle caught my eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for something like this, and I finally found it. Not that they're not readily available, because you could kind of find them anywhere, and you can certainly order a million different versions of them online, but I had forgotten about them, and then I was like, oh, and I found it. So this is the brand Sunshine Naturals. I've heard of this brand. I can't remember what exactly, but anyway, these are vitamin E and aloe vera ampules. So there's these guys right here, and they're little ampules, they're called, where you kind of just like break them, like you kind of like, there's different perforation styles of them, I guess, but like this is what it looks like. They're kind of cute, actually. It almost looks like a little baby turnip. But you're supposed to like snip this off, and then the goodness is in this little bulb. These are a little bit different than what I'm used to. Usually the ones that I've gotten in the past, you really like with just zero effort, you can just like pop it off and then it squeezes right out. These take a while. So I probably next time will have to cut them. Because I tried just kind of like bending and tearing, and it just exploded all over the place. But it's okay. It was a little bit of a creamier consistency than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be more oil, but it was definitely much more emollient and creamy. And I don't know if it's just because of the combination of the vitamin E and aloe vera, but it's not bad. I mainly got it to put on the tops of my hands because my hands have been so dry and like cracked and weathered and aged, and I absolutely hate it. And I have been trying to put lotion upon lotion upon lotion on top of it, and it's just not, this hand for whatever reason is a little bit worse than this hand, probably just because it's my right hand and I do a lot more with my right hand anyway. But yeah, I was gonna buy, actually I still have it in my Amazon cart, believe it or not, the little vitamin E capsules, and I was gonna use it for, like I said, the tops of my hand, and I was going to use it for like little spots on my face that were a little bit dry. I was actually going to use a little bit of it on Penelope's skin because she has little spots on her body, like little dry patches, like eczema. And I try using, you know, different lotions and moisturizers and things, and they don't work. So vitamin E oil was going to be my next kind of solution. And then I found these, and I like aloe vera gel because aloe vera has some amazing like healing properties for your skin. So ironically enough, I found one that has both. So pretty cool. I was going to open it for you guys, but I don't want to be wasteful because believe it or not, a lot comes out of this little bulb. In fact, too much. Like I probably could have used this bulb for like my hands and like my entire face. And I just used it for my hands and it was way too much. But I gotta tell you, it feels really nice and looks really good. You know what? I probably will open it because I think I need a little more. It's soaked it up. All right, so here's the little, whoop! Ah! I'm coming. Okay, I'll just get another one. Here's the little bulb. And I'm gonna just snip the little top and see how this goes. Oh my God, what a mess. Jeez, it makes a big mess. Like, I'm not used to that. My gosh. And then you just squeeze. See how emollient that is? Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Look at that. Look at that. See that? So it's definitely a lot more creamy than I was kind of hoping for. I was hoping for something a little bit more oily, but you know, that's what we got. I'm not 100% a fan of the scent, I gotta be honest, but here we have it. It's very creamy, but also very greasy. Does that make sense? Like it's very, very... It's greasy. It's greasy, but you know what? It has been soaking into my skin so nicely that I can't say I'm mad about it. The scent though, I could do without. Oh my God, like what in the heck? I can't even tell you what the scent like actually smells like other than just like not pleasant. I'm trying to think of what this scent could be described as. I don't know. I don't like it. That's all I can tell you. So I really wish it was unscented, you know, but there's a little bit of a fragrance in there. I'm not the happiest about that. But the way this feels and how soothing this actually is really is worth it. Like so worth it. I can't even begin to tell you how freaking nice this feels. So I don't know if it's the consistency of it or if it's just maybe because there's too much product in there for me to use on one specific area like my hands, but it does, like I do find that I have to kind of wipe a little bit of it off, especially on the back of my hand like this, because it's just greasy. Like I just feel like it's so greasy, but look at that. Look at how nice and smooth that left my hand. It was so, oh wow. Oh wow. It was so like red and irritated and dry and cracked that it almost was like hurting. You know when it gets to that point where like your skin is so dry that it hurts? Yeah, that's how it was feeling. And even like in between my fingers, like right here, you're not gonna be able to see it on camera, but it was just so freaking dry that it was like peeling, like right in between my ring finger and my pinky finger, like right in there. It was like peeling. That's how dry my skin was. Excuse me. But this little number has revived these lifeless hands. And I am so thankful for that. And I'm really happy I got them. There's how many in here? 60. That's a lot, actually. Wow, I didn't realize that. That's a lot. So what's in here? Vitamin E oil, aloe vera gel, fragrance, isopropyl palmitate, I don't know about that one, glycerol stearate, and polysorbate. So, I mean, not the most natural ingredients, because I don't know if that isopropyl palmitate is really good. I almost feel like that's like an alcohol of sorts, which is counterintuitive because it's a drying agent if it is an alcohol, which why would I put a drying agent on my hand if ideally I'm trying to incorporate moisture, right? But I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different word. Let's look it up. Let us look up isopropyl Let's see here, folks. All right, so it is alcohol. I knew I was right. I knew it. Isopropyl, yeah. Isopropyl palmitate is derived from hexadeconic acid, which is a derivative of processing palm oil. It is used in cosmetics as a surfactant, a surface agent in foods, and to make weapons. Okay. It is the ester of isopropyl palmitate is the ester of isopropyl alcohol and palmitic acid. It is an emollient, a moisturizer, a thickening agent, and anti-static agent. All right, well, I mean, whatever. That's what's in here. Ideally, I would like just pure vitamin E oil and just pure aloe vera gel, which is what I will get in my next batch of orders in my next order from Amazon, because it is in my cart already. But I did see that and it was just like a quick impulse buy. I mean, I really do enjoy what it's doing to my skin right now. It is the first thing in a series of many things that I've tried that is actually working. So isopropyl palmitate or not, you're doing something good for me at the moment. Long term, maybe not. But right now, not bad. So I got that yesterday. That's really the only thing I have to share with you guys today, product review wise. I really haven't used anything or purchased anything new from the last time I've shared a haul with you guys. I still have this beautiful palette sitting on my desk that I have to actually bring to my bathroom so that I can use it, because I completely forgot it was even in here. But yeah, that's really it, you guys. Just been in my feels lately, trying to work through some mental stuff, some days are good days, some days are not, we have our ebbs and flows. Meditation for me is key. Praying for me is key. As I said, I am very, very guilty of just not being as consistent with it as I used to be. Before I had Penelope, I would sit and meditate, and I would sit and pray religiously, like every day. And not that it's an excuse, because shame on me. I have no real reason not to continue to do what I do. But I have slacked, and I've confessed that to God, and He knows it. And I can only do what I can do, which is try to be better about that. And I think that, that's really it. I have to just work on being better with it and doing that. And I will, some days are definitely a little bit harder for me than others. But I'm human. I'm a human. And, yeah, I have to just be more consistent and try to make that time for myself. I do find that if I have that time to sit and just be still and pray and meditate, that I am in a better state of mind. And I just haven't done it, you guys. I just haven't done it. So that is something I need to work on. It's something that I am going to really try to make a priority, because I think it's important for me. And I also think it's important, for my family, because if I'm not in the right state of mind, then I can't function, and I can't give my daughter or my husband or my friends and other family members, the full of me. You know what I mean? I can't give them me in its entirety, and I am just short with them, and I'm irritable with them, and I'm impatient with them, and I get frustrated with them, and I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person in general, but I definitely don't want to be that person to them. It just doesn't make me feel good. It just doesn't, and I don't like that. I don't want to not feel good. I don't want to do things that don't make me feel good and that don't sit well with me in peace, And I don't know if you guys need to hear that. I don't know who needs to hear that. I don't know who's going through the same things and experiencing the same situations. But yeah, I mean, we get overwhelmed and overstimulated, and we're trying to burn out, 20,000 different fires, and it's like, it's a lot. There's only so much of us we can give at any point in time in any day, and some days I feel like I've just spread myself way too thin, and I'm trying to do a million different things, and I can't, and then that frustrates me, and the Virgo in me wants to control everything, even though I know I can't. So, what's one to do? I don't know. But pray, actually, is what we can do, and meditate and spend that time in just stillness and quiet, in just like, even if it's in our own thoughts, sometimes we think like, oh, we have so many different thoughts going on in our mind, I can't think about another thing. No, you can, but in a different space. You know what I mean? You can't think about another thing when you're frustrated. You can't think about another thing when you're in the middle of 25 other things, but you can think about another thing when you have that moment to just do nothing else but that, And that's what I need. I know myself enough to know what I need and when I need it. And I know that not meditating and not sitting down and spending the time to pray like I once did is definitely something I need. I need it for my own personal well-being. I do. Like, it's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I need that. I need that to bring the rest of me in like some sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm trying to like use here. Functionality. I need to do that in order to function. You know, it's kind of like a machine, right? A machine cannot work properly without all its parts. And sometimes those parts need to be greased up. And cartridges need to be changed. And, you know, the paper tray needs to be loaded. And, you know what I mean? Like, toner needs to be replaced. And then guess what? You got smooth, clean copies. That's me. My toner needs to be changed. My paper tray needs to be filled. Oh my gosh, I am losing my mind. I am losing my mind. Well, what's better than crying, right? Laughing. Laughing. That's what we need more of. Laughter. Laughter is the medicine to happiness. No, what's that saying? I don't know if there's a saying. Laughter is medicine. Is that the saying? You guys, I'm losing it, okay? I'm losing it. Ignore what I'm saying. No, don't ignore what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, but ignore the silly parts. I am going to read to you guys a affirmation card from this beautiful little deck of cards. I think I've used this before. Like I said, I have 4 different decks that I just randomly decide at the moment to pick from. And then I will shuffle the cards and pick one specific card at random to read to you guys. And I leave you with that beautiful affirmation to kind of, you know, think about and dwell on, meditate on, you know, focus on, whatever. And I find that these are very helpful. I really do. But I also want to, seriously though, encourage you guys to, you know, to take time for yourselves, you know, however long that time may be. You know, if you have an hour, great. If you have 2, wonderful. You know, if you've got 20 minutes, take it. You know, we all need to push that reset button every once in a while. And, you know, it's important for us to get to know ourselves better, to get to know ourselves to a point where we can identify when we are in need of that time. You know, like I said, for me, I need meditation. I need prayer. I need it. You know, for people who maybe are not so religious or spiritual, you know, prayer's not the thought for them. Maybe they just need to sit outside and close their eyes and listen to the birds chirp, you know, or sit outside and, you know, take in some fresh air and have a cup of tea or a glass of wine, or, you know, just take a drive. You know, sometimes that's what I need too. So, you know, I mean, if I'm taking a drive by myself, I'm usually praying. You know, I find time to pray all the time, no matter where I am or what I'm doing. It's not specifically in a said room or said spot. It's on my way to a doctor's appointment, on my way to Dunkin' Donuts. It's, you know, on my way to just nowhere. You know, I just need to drive around and listen to music and pray at the same time. You know, whatever it is that can ground you and bring you back to a state of calm and just a place where you can function. You know, it's important. It's important because, you know, we do lose it sometimes. We do. I am not an exception to that. I am 100% admitting that I lose my shit. I do. But I don't like it. I don't like that I get that way. I don't like that I'm impatient. I don't like that I get frustrated or irritable really easily. I don't like it. And so I know that I need to make change to do less of that, you know? And what does that mean for me? It means I need to do more of me time. Waking up a little bit earlier in the morning to sit down and pray while the morning is still calm and quiet, you know, finding that time, you know, even in the evening after all has calmed down, before I go to bed, to just meditate on the day, you know, and really truly ask myself, like, how was today? You know, was today a good day? And if the answer to that is yes, which hopefully you have more yeses than nos, you know, ask yourself, well, what was so good about today? What did I do differently today that made it a good day? And how do I keep that going, right? Like, how do we keep the momentum going when we are on this like streak of just doing it right, you know, and having a good day and making the right choices and doing the right things and saying and choosing the right words, right? To form sentences to tell people. Because sometimes that's part of it too, you know. We don't take that time to think about what we're saying or what we're doing. We're just quick to do it. And impulse decisions, you know, impulse conversation is not always the best thing, you know. But you know, if you sit down with yourself at the end of the day and you analyze your day and you find that it wasn't the best day, you know, okay, well, again, what about it wasn't? You know, were you just a little less patient than you could have been? You know, were you irritated and aggravated and frustrated easily today, and why? You know, did you eat well? Did you have a good night's sleep? Did you take in enough water? Did you, you know, have a few minutes to yourself? You know, sometimes even like, especially the days when Penelope's home and she's driving me nuts, you know, I sometimes will just go to the bathroom and I will lock myself in the bathroom for like 20 minutes, you know, and just sit there. I open the window sometimes and I close my eyes and I just take in some fresh air. And even though she's knocking at the door or screaming my name at the top of her lungs, I try to zone her out. You know, I know she's okay. First and foremost, let's analyze the situation, right? Is she okay? Is she crying and screaming because something's going on? Or does she just want my attention? Okay, she's fine. She's good. Everything's okay. She just wants my attention. She can wait 20 minutes, you know? And I just sit and I am like one ear out the window, one ear past the door to make sure all is good. But she's not in my face, you know, and she's not by my side. And I can just, for 20 minutes or less, you know, just take in some deep breaths, you know, and just like reset. And I mean, honestly, sometimes I need a few resets throughout the day, especially when she's home and when there's a lot going on. Sometimes I need a few resets. That's the honest truth. I'm not ashamed of it, you know. Mom life, man, okay? But It is what it is. And, you know, we power through and we do what we can and we take accountability. You know, like that's the other thing is we need to take accountability. It's one thing that I'm definitely trying to make more of a focus for me. You know, Maria, take accountability. Why did you get frustrated today with Penelope? Could you have been a little bit more patient with her? You know, could you have addressed that issue a little bit better? Could you have maybe just even walked away from it? You know, sometimes we are so quick to address a situation when it's like, just walk away. Just walk away from it right now. You don't need to address it. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to say anything. You don't need to do a thing. Walk away. You know, walk away. It's what I tell Penelope sometimes. Like sometimes she's playing with the toy and she gets mad. And I'm like, Penelope, why are you getting upset? And she'll be like, I can't do this. Okay, walk away. Walk away from the toy right now. You're frustrated. You're frustrated, which means you're not going to be patient enough to do what you got to do. Walk away from the toy and come back to it in a few minutes when you've calmed down. And then she'll say, okay, mommy. And she walks away and she does it, you know, and then she'll distract herself with something else. And then she'll eventually make her way back to the toy. And guess what? She figured it out. And then she'll be so happy. She'll be like, Mommy, I did it. Look, look, look. And then it's just such a cute moment, you know? But I mean, same applies to us as adults. I mean, granted, we're not probably walking away from a toy, but we're walking away from a situation. Something in our life in the moment that like we just absolutely can't function and do because we're so just like overwhelmed. Walk away, you know, go back to it later, figure it out, leave it alone, calm down, take a breath and then handle, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, it's easy to say when you're not dealing with it in the moment. I know that, but it's something that you have to just put to practice and eventually learn to do in that moment, you know? And that's what I have to do. And, you know, I mean, will there be days that I will fail miserably? Of course. Oh my gosh. But will there also be days of total success? Yes. You know? So I don't know. I don't know who needs to hear this little lecture or this little like kind of spiel, but I know once in a while I need to tell myself these things and it helps. You know, it does really help. And, you know, it's necessary sometimes to just keep going, you know, because otherwise you just don't want to deal, you know, and we got to deal. We can't just always walk away from our problems. You know, when I say walk away from something, I mean something that's just like frustrating you in the moment, you know, just walk away from it. You know, you're at work, a coworker's pissing you off, an issue needs to be dealt with. Okay, quickly analyze it. Is it an emergency situation that you need to address at the very moment? Is it a life or death situation? Is it something that, you know, is the difference between, you know, somebody's health and safety, including yours? Or is it something that you could just say, you know what, I need to just go over there right now, you know? Then go. You know, take a walk outside, go to the snack machine, have a sip of water. You know what I mean? Like, just breathe. Just breathe. You know, oftentimes we forget to do that. You know, we forget to just breathe. And that's important. Very, very, very important. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I feel like the last two videos I posted were very much venting sessions, but you know, it's necessary. And as I said in the beginning of me starting my channel, you know, that's the kind of thing we're going to do here. You know, we're going to deal with situations. We're going to talk about feelings and things and everyday life. And it's not always about, you know, unboxing. You know, it's not always about a tutorial or an amazing Amazon product. It's about life. It's about being a human being in 2023 dealing with shit. You know, whether it's home life or work life, mom life, or, you know, animal lover life, whatever the heck it is, you know, it's life. It's the day to day, you know, and some days are not always about, you know, being silly and happy and goofy and enjoying beautiful, colorful palettes. You know, some days it's real and it's shitty and it sucks, you know. But I'm here to hopefully remind you all, as well as myself, because, you know, I look back at these videos too and mostly cringe, but also take away from the words that are being said. You know, I mean, we have the choice to make our situation worse or better. You know, we have the choice to look at something we're going through and, you know, be the victim about it or rise above it, you know. And yes, some things are a little bit more serious than others. Some things are not that serious at all, but we make it into something serious. But whatever it is, it's what we're going through. And it's important to us, you know. Maybe it's not important to you. Maybe my bad day is like a walk in the park for you. Great, good. But you know what? They're still my feelings. It's still my issue. It's still something that I'm going through. However serious or not it might be to you, it is something that for me is affecting me in that moment. Period. You know, our feelings, our thoughts, what we go through, what we don't go through, you know, they shouldn't be dismissed because you think it's not that big of a deal, or because somebody thinks, oh my God, get over it. No. Yes, I mean, I will get over it, but no, not because you tell me to. You know, I've got to work through it. I've got to process it. I've got to digest it. I've got to, you know, make it something I can learn from and grow through, so that should the event happen again, perhaps not in the same circumstances, but maybe the feelings come back again, the frustrations come back again, the impatientness comes back again, I can work through it better. I can tackle it better. I can have more success, you know, with it. So yeah, I mean, that's what it is, you know. And hopefully coffee is expired. Hopefully, oh, my throat just made a sound. I can enlighten you in some fashion and help you work through it in a way that's a little less negative. You know, maybe we can laugh about it, you know, maybe we can make a joke about it, you know, but eventually and ultimately rise above it and push through it, you know. So with that being said, I've shuffled this deck. I am ready to pick the card off the top at random. This says, how fitting, things often don't work out as planned. Let things appear just as they do and be sure to notice how they unfold perfectly. Well, isn't that just lovely? Lovely. I like that. I like that. It's very fitting because yes, some days, you know, don't turn out the way you expected or hoped. But again, through recognizing how to deal with that, we will get through it, you know? And like I said, prayer and meditation for me is a must. An absolute must. And, you know, maybe you guys feel the same, or maybe there are some of you out there who don't pray or have not meditated, and maybe it's something that you know, you might want to consider as part of your journey in life, you know, to be a better person and how to deal with situations and get through them in a much more peaceful way, you know? So, I don't know, something to think about, you know, for sure. But with that, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed yet another video and that you will tune in for the next one. Who knows what that one will be about? We will see. But please subscribe if you have not already. And I am truly grateful and thankful for you guys. As always, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.